Yeah. So talk to me. Did you have a moment where thought about giving up?
Yeah,
Other
with
than the hot
my
dog one where you did give up, and something a little more.
yeah, no, well, so we had our company for 5 years. The first year was basically an R&D project for what was our original business that turned into our main business that we ended up selling.
Sure.
So when we first started the company, I started with two other co-founders. One of which, he was a good friend of mine. We went to school together. We did a 1-year MBA together. We did everything together, very close. The other gentleman I met, he was an alum of my college, 5 years older than me, and we met through the entrepreneur program I started.
Gotcha.
So the three of us started the company. We went full steam ahead for a few years. During that time, we ended up hiring two more people on the tech side who we ended up calling co-founders. So we had 5 co-founders.
Okay.
By the time we sold the company, it was myself and one other co-founder, the alumni of my college who, we've been partners ever since, and amazing relationship. But anyway, one of the co-founders who I was very close with, we had to make the tough decision to fire him.
Oh wow.
And a lot of people don't know, like when people hear about co-founders getting fired, I hear a lot about how is that possible? How can you get fired from your own company?
Yeah.
But it happens more than people even realize.
So if you don't mind me asking, without throwing your guy under the bus, why?
2 main reasons. 1, results.
Okay.
And then 2, he was, in our opinion, becoming not trying to think of the right way to word it, but basically the culture fit wasn't there anymore.
Got it.
He was becoming, in my opinion, abrasive and just kind of going his own way, just solo path and not in alignment with the rest of the team.
Sure.
So anyway, I remember going into I was in the office on a weekend. It was my co-founder and I, the one that obviously I'm still working with. And he said,
Yeah.
"Hey, Adam, I think we should make this decision." After speaking about it, I was on board. We called in our CTO at the time. He was on board. We made the decision. And then, the next day we had to let him go, which was an incredibly difficult thing, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But the reason why this is related to when we almost quit is because things started to get a little bit ugly, where there
Sure.
was some threatening of,
Resentment.
taking as much of the company as possible. And in startups, there tend to be terms where you have to work a certain amount of time in order for your stock to vest. So even when you start a company, let's say you have 25% of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Year 1, you get a quarter of that. Year 2, you get half of it. Year 3, you get 3/4 of it. And year 4, you finally get all of your equity.
Got it.
It's all vested.
And he didn't get all the time.
So we let him go about 2 years into the company.
Gotcha.
So the 3 of us had 2 years of vesting. So we all had half of our total equity.
Okay.
Him and his lawyer made the case that he should be due his full equity.
Gotcha.
And I remember I work like a dog, like 7 days a week, always in the office. And this was one of the few times I took a vacation. I went to Hawaii to visit my dad who lives in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I'm in Hawaii and my business partner calls me. Is like, "Adam, so-and-so, their lawyer said that they're going to get full equity. I spoke to our investors. They agree. He probably is going to get his full equity. And what do you want to do?" So basically we had to make the decision. We can either buy him out for an insane amount of money or
But you didn't see that coming, you don't think?
no, or we could basically work for this guy. We only had half of our equity vested. He had his full equity vested. And basically we, for the next however many years, are going to be working to make this guy a lot of money. And I'm just like, fuck that. That ain't worth it. Fuck that. No shot in hell am I going to do that.
It's just a tricky situation, yeah.
Long story short, their attorney was totally wrong.
It's great.
We had
That's an interesting story. That's great.